Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 1054 days Ukraine stands strong against the forces of the Russian invasion. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky informed in his evening video address that he instructed Ukraine's Minister of Internal Affairs and diplomats to prepare for the possible participation of Ukrainian rescuers in combating the wildfires in California. Quote, "The situation there is extremely challenging and Ukrainians can help Americans protect lives." Quote, "The situation there is extremely challenging and Ukrainians can help Americans protect lives. This matter has been worked out and through appropriate channels we have offered our assistance to the American side." Unquote. According to the head of state, Ukraine has 150 firefighters prepared. Volodymyr Zelensky published a video of questioning of prisoners of war from North Korea captured in Russia's Kursk Oblast. He stated that Ukraine is ready to return them to their home country as part of a prisoner exchange with Russia. Quote, "In addition to the first captured soldiers from North Korea, there will undoubtedly be more. It's only a matter of time before our troops manage to capture others." Quote, "Ukraine is ready to hand over Kim Jong-un's soldiers to him if he can organize their exchange for our warriors who have been held captive in Russia. For those North Korean soldiers who do not wish to return, there may be other options available. In particular, those who express a desire to bring peace closer by spreading the truth about this war in Korean will be given that opportunity." Unquote. The prisoner questioned originally expressed a desire to remain in Ukraine, but subsequently stated that he would do as he is ordered. The interpreter explained if he has to return, he will. If given the chance, he will stay here. Another North Korean prisoner nodded affirmatively when asked if he wanted to return to North Korea. Later in his address, Zelensky said one of the prisoners had expressed a desire to stay in Ukraine, while the other wanted to return to North Korea. These soldiers were captured on 11th of January. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you're listening to this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and others. This really helps more people to find out about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. Switzerland announced that it is ready to organize a leader-level meeting between US President-elect Donald Trump and Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin should both parties express an interest to do so, reports European Pravda. Nicolas Bedeau, spokesperson for Switzerland's foreign ministry, recalled the peace summit held in Switzerland by Ukraine and noted that following the event, Ukraine, Russia and the United States had consistently expressed their readiness to support any diplomatic efforts to establish peace. Bedeau stressed that the arrest warrant for the Kremlin leader issued by the International Criminal Court would not be an obstacle to his potential visit to Switzerland. He noted that the Swiss government has the right to make an exception if it is necessary for peace talks. President Volodymyr Zelensky indicated that the first discussions on ending the Russo-Ukrainian war would take place with US President Donald Trump, and that potential talks with Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin might follow only afterwards. Ukraine's foreign ministry stated that Kyiv expects Zelensky and Trump to meet shortly after the latter's inauguration on 20th of January. On 10th of January, John Kirby, National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications at the White House, said that neither Russia nor Ukraine is ready to negotiate an end to the war. Meanwhile, Mike Waltz, Donald Trump's incoming national security advisor, has confirmed that the president-elect's team is working on preparing for his upcoming meeting with the Russian leader and will be in contact with the Russian side in the coming months. The ABC interviewer asked about the possible format of the meeting and whether they were inclined to think that it would be a bilateral meeting between Trump and Putin or whether they were considering a trilateral format with the involvement of Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. Quote, "We haven't set the exact framework for it yet. We are working on that, but I do expect a call at least in the coming days and weeks," unquote, Waltz said, likely referring to a conversation between Trump and the Kremlin leader. Waltz said that a ceasefire agreement would be an incredibly positive first step to begin to negotiate a diplomatic end to the war. According to Waltz, everybody knows that this has to end somehow diplomatically. Quote, "I just don't think it's realistic to say we are going to expel every Russian from every inch of Ukrainian soil, even Crimea," unquote. Military photographer, filmmaker, and Ukrainian Armed Forces serviceman Ruslan Hanushak has been killed on the front line, reports Detector Media. Hanushak began his career as a military filmmaker in 2014 while serving in the Azov Battalion. He became one of the documentarians of the war in Donbass, capturing Russian war crimes in the settlements of Shirokine, Granitne, Berdyanske, Lebedinske, and Marinka. His works include the film about Georgian volunteers Brother for Brother, were showcased in the US, UK, and other countries worldwide. In 2016, Hanushak created the documentary 2 Days in Ilovaisk, detailing the beginnings of the Ilovaisk tragedy. In 2022, he joined the 92nd Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, continuing to publish photographs and videos documenting the war. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just two people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we're getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.